Good morning. Welcome to YAP. Today I'm joined by Nell.
Hello.
Coming to a stage near you.
Yay!
That was nice, right?
That was so nice. I feel like that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Okay, I feel like you say this quite a bit. So every time I'm saying the nicest
not
thing
only-
I've ever said to you.
You've called me quite a few names, actually.
Here we go.
He called me ugly the other day.
I never said it. I never flat out said it.
Have you seen... I'm going on a tangent right now.
Go.
But have you seen, like, the Anna Paul stuff
Bro.
that's happening? And she's like, guys, I feel broke.
Okay, so
And that's how you made me feel. You're like, I didn't call you ugly,
I just felt
but I've
ugly.
implied you that you're ugly.
Let's actually. Do you know anything about that topic? I feel like we should dive into that.
That's brain rot.
That drama.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So Michaela Testa is an Australian
I love that you know her name.
creator, and Anna Paul is another Australian creator. Together, they were besties for years, and the lore is that Michaela dated Anna's brother for like a while.
Yeah.
So that's how they know each other. So like, it's like a perfect case scenario, I guess, if you're dating your bestie's brother, which is a bit weird.
The dream.
Is it? Yeah, keep digging. Anyways,
That's crazy.
over the
Shut
last
up.
few years, obviously, both of them have been getting into serious drama. Both with like, they're all weird dramas too. Like, okay, you've watched Michaela's videos, right? The big one, the 8
I've
minute
only
one.
seen that one video,
Okay,
the big one. Yeah,
what is it about?
she basically goes into detail about how like Anna Paul's whole brand is a
It's
lie.
fake. It's not real.
It's not real.
It's inauthentic, you could say.
Inauthentic.
Yeah.
That she's lying about being broke her whole life. She's lying about being authentically yourself as a woman.
Because the main example that stuck out to me was that apparently like some fan hugged her, and like the second the fan left, she made a comment about how the fan is fat and sweaty.
And then Anna Paul's like rebuttal to it was like, I didn't call her fat, I just called her a bit wet. Like or something like that. It was just wild.
But low key, okay, the fat part I can't defend, but like the sweaty part I can definitely get behind. Like,
If someone touched me and gave me a hug, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna go to my best friend
Yeah.
going, oh my gosh, they were
Yeah.
sweaty.
and it'd be lame if your best friend used that against you years down the line.
Yeah.
I resonate with this because I am a person that has sweaty palms. So like I am
Your
always,
biggest insecurities.
yeah, I'm always extra paranoid about like shaking hands and like leaving a really bad first impression. So I do one of them ones where you just like
You could do the like fist bump.
yeah, but like as a first time, like if I'm dapping up some like corporate exec, I don't want to be like my guy, how's it going, you know? And so yeah, Michaela came out with a banger of a video. It had 20-30 million views by now. And since then, it's been people hounding Anna for a response.
And it took her ages.
Took her what, like a week, I think. And it's also no coincidence that her brother Addis like went offline. Like he took everything off social media. He literally wiped his social medias, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Guilty? Who knows?
I don't know.
And
And the
then-
whole like thing is like, who do you believe?
Yeah. And then Anna Paul came out yesterday with a video responding to Michaela's rebuttals, and I'll be so real. I did not care to watch it.
It felt very inauthentic.
Yeah, I also think it's weird that like when you guys are like besties for like a decade, and then I don't know, if you're not on the best terms, don't just come out and expose everything. I don't know.
I mean, if she is lying and her whole brand is a lie,
Yeah.
I kind of understand it.
But you were supporting that lie for 10 years when you were her bestie. Like when it benefits you, you shut up. But
But you don't know what happened behind closed doors. Maybe she could
Yeah.
have said something. She could have been like, "Why are you lying?"
Yeah, I think the other thing that is a bit weird was that like that Michaela exposed was that Anna had a like an adult website, and she was doing like raffle giveaways on her website, which was weird as hell. So like you'd subscribe to the page, and then you'd like new
When-
subscribers, I guess, would get put it into a raffle, and then you'd get like your money and some.
But it's crazy the amount of like people on my For You page complaining that they couldn't win anything because they would just keep buying into the raffles. Insane.
Yeah.
People have spent thousands of dollars trying to get into like.
And the slippery slope is that most of her audience is kids. That's where it gets like weird and tricky because, and I didn't even clock this because I obviously like I don't know if you could tell, but I don't really get Anna Paul on my For You page like that. But like Michaela was saying that like there's some I don't know if it's Michaela, but like a lot of people were pointing out the fact that like some people had like realized the way that Anna makes her videos is very suggestive, but like it's not suggested to a kid. It's like these like sick twisted cartoons that like to a 5-year-old it doesn't make any sense,
totally.
but like to a 12-year to I don't know like a grown adult they'd be like So it's a bit interesting. Michaela read off a teleprompter and I didn't, and people are siding with Michaela more. So the lesson for today, the learning, is make sure you read whatever you're about to say, because saying you feel broke doesn't really cut it.
That whole segment.
That's the whole trend now. That's the whole sound.
It's insane. Like saying you feel a certain way.
Yeah. What was the example though? Like it was something about Christmas.
Oh, she said that for Christmas she's wrapped bottles or something to make the tree look fuller.
Yeah. People are out here dying, bro.
I feel broke.
People are out here dying.
I'm out here. I feel great.
Yeah. It's a trending sound now. So if you're on TikTok, genuinely hop on the sound. Like that's gonna be on Trump. Like I think sometime this week it should be.
You should do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
I feel broke.
Me 1 week after my paycheck.
Facts.
No, for real.
Okay, I know. Okay, this is going off tangent, but that paycheck, that felt like the longest gap between Christmas and that paycheck.
It took a while. It took a while to load in.
Bro, I was struggling out here.
Yeah. Which makes us get into our next topic. Speaking of promiscuous creators, audiences are down bad for it. We're talking about how sex sells.
It's so funny because like Abdel and I were talking about this the other day, and we were saying how like we're probably two of the
least qualified
people to probably talk about this.
Yeah.
Him and I were like doing some research on the topic yesterday, and we were like, we can't look at this. And he was with his parents. Do you want to explain your story with your parents?
I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay.
No, basically, like, I mean, so I designed some of the banners and stuff for the newsletter. Subscribe. And obviously one of the newsletter articles is about, like, how thirst still sells, or, like, brands being flirty still works, blah, blah, blah. And obviously, if you want to put a visual into that, an example of that's mentioned is, like, Jeremy Allen White and his Calvin Klein campaign.
Yep.
And so, like, I was keyword trying to work at home, and I was trying to make the banner, and I was like,
I can't do this here.
yeah, I closed the laptop so quick, bro.
Goodbye.
Yeah, so I hope they don't. I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But yeah, obviously it's no denying that like sex still sells. We'd be stupid if we denied that. Look at Michaela and Anna.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't the whole thinking is like humans need water, food, and sex? Like that's it.
I don't know about that.
And shelter. Like that's
Really?
it.
The Maslow hierarchy of needs has.
I don't
sex
know.
on it.
I actually no. I don't think it has it in there.
It has
but
like shelter and belonging, bro. It's belonging.
You know what? Scrap what I said. I'm leaving.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's just this idea of like brands being a little bit more like flirty, especially with their like community management and stuff. And I'm actually kind of for it. I'm not against it. Obviously, like I like whenever like a big celebrity comes out with like some underwear campaign or some promiscuous campaign, it blows the hell up, obviously. I also think that like some people do it in a really smart way. I think it was Sydney Sweeney that had like obviously Sydney Sweeney is a very attractive woman, blah blah blah, and
Blah blah blah.
or so they say. And I think she's done like an ad or two recently where like it is suggestive, but it's suggestive in a funny way. So it's not just like, oh, look at me, I'm a pretty hot woman. No, it's like, look at me, I'm a pretty hot woman. and then like I don't know. There's an ad that she did. She was like, "Oh, there's one thing that men like," and then it's like her looking crazy into the camera, and then like she like pulls up some like 7-in-1 body wash, and it's like an ad.
Oh, funny.
And so using it like that is actually kind of funny because initially you get the people that are like watching it for the wrong reasons, but then you like convert those people into like customers. So it low-key works. I think it works anyway. I hope the numbers do work.
I mean, the whole thing with Kanye and his wife the other day at the Grammys,
That was insane.
that drew so much attention to Kanye. And
No, you know what it is? Dude, he just posted a screenshot on his story or something. If you go on Google Trends over the 24 period of the Grammys, Bianca Sensori's name was searched more than the Grammys. The Grammys has been around for like 67 years. It's like a bona fide, solidified, very prestigious award.
exactly.
And this woman that like seemingly came out of nowhere, obviously, relatively coming out of nowhere, just shows up, takes her jacket off, and she's gotten
Butt
more
ass
searches
naked.
across the 24-hour period. So like she was just there for like maybe 40 seconds, I think. Like, and now he's like promoting his Yeezy website, and I'm sure sales will go through the roof.
Marketing.
So
Terrifying marketing.
yeah, if you want numbers, just
Take your clothes off, apparently.
yeah.
I mean, okay, I know this is like into a different sphere, but Disney has made kids' movies for their whole however long.
Yep.
And if you look at the movies now as an adult, they're all got the underlying things of like themes of sexual.
Yeah, it's all
stuff.
suggestive.
It's all suggestive, yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if it's disturbing or funny. Like looking back and being like, oh, I didn't catch on to that. Or
was
like,
so
oh,
funny.
this Tom and Jerry moment, I didn't clock that this was about that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
I guess it makes it like interesting for parents and
Yeah.
older people to watch, adults to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, yeah.
It sells.
Yeah, it definitely does sell. That's for sure. I think they say it's the oldest profession, but I actually found out that was not true.
What's the oldest
I think
profession?
agriculture, or like farmers, are like the oldest
What were you
profession.
going to say? Wait, what is the oldest profession?
Farmers?
No, before that.
Oh, they used to say that like
Oh.
it's the oldest profession. But it turns out it's farmers, so gotcha. All right, next up. What's next up?
That was it.
Brain rot.
Oh.
Let's talk about brain rot real quick. I just want to cover this real quick because I had like a 10-minute back and forth with my brothers about this. So for context, I'm 23 years old, big grown adult. I have a brother that is 19. I have don't nod your head. I have a brother that is 13. So we're all pretty chronically online. We're okay. You might be like, wait, really? What? That's not even coming as a surprise.
I had no idea. It makes no sense that you're online that long.
And
especially because you're working in a marketing agency.
and we're on TikTok so much that like we just say some random references that I think a normal human would not get.
I've been saying
Like,
I've only come around to saying slay in the last like month or two.
yeah.
And I was texting my mum the other day.
No.
And she was like, "You coming for dinner?" And I was like, "Slay." And she was like, "What is a slay?"
Yeah.
It was so embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think this, according to some website, brain rot was actually the word of the year last year.
I'm not surprised.
Which was insane. Like, out of every word in the dictionary, I think they added it to the dictionary as well. It sounded like brain dash rot. And, yeah, so I think that brands should tap into brain rot. I think it's the way to go. I think that, like,
How do you tap into brain rot?
you just need to have, like, a chronically online intern on your team and just reference them in comments, reference them within your content, I think. The biggest thing that's blowing up right now is, like, funny moments or, like, corny moments over the internet, whether it be now or from, like, 5-10 years ago, that people are, like, recreating.
I love that.
And so the recreations are so much more funnier than the actual thing.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And it's all just like I think it just taps into the idea of like a parody. And I think that's why parodies were such a big. I used to be so in love
Vines
with
was so
parodies.
good.
Parodies are the best thing ever.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically you're like getting something that happened, and then you're just like adding like a funny twist to it, or like
yeah.
a satirical twist to it. So like one of the most recent ones is, do you know the rapper XXX
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a kid. He's a rapper that passed away. And he recently has been trending for like some of his interview clips and stuff from back in the day.
Yeah.
And one of them is really corny, and he's getting interviewed. Obviously, he's like 17 at the time, and this interviewer asks him off camera, "What's your relationship with your father?" And he goes like, "What's that? What's a father?" And then just like,
Deadpans.
and people are taking that and running with it, and it's always
So
like
good.
people recreating it and stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that like the best example of that, not that specific example, but the best example of like brain rot is Duolingo. If I'm a brand, I look at what Duolingo does and I copy it to a T.
Duolingo's insane. How is that like one of the biggest brands on TikTok?
Yeah, it's crazy. One of the biggest brands on TikTok, so by extension on the internet, is a app for translations. Like that shouldn't be the case.
No.
That shouldn't like they're not supposed to be in the position they are.
No.
But just because of how brain rot they are.
They are
So yeah, I mean, dude.
so brain rot.
And I think it's really hard for people to tap into it. I think like the cool thing about brain rot is that it's like an exclusive community. It's like, oh, like the appeal or
If
the
you know,
allure
you
of it. Exactly. It's like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't know it, then
And then you have to explain it to people.
yeah. Yeah. And then that's
It's
the
like
hard
Sebes.
part. So it's funnier if somebody gets it.
Yeah.
That one person gets it in the room out of 20 people, and that's so much more rewarding than
Yeah,
like knowing
exactly.
like a very mainstream
I
reference.
wonder what our vocabulary is going to be like when we're in 40s and 50s.
I
It's
feel
just
like-
going to be like
yeah,
slay,
yeah.
Sebes,
Vibe is like
vibe.
vibe is like
Vibe is like vibe.
vibe is like formal. Vibe is like a I don't know.
You're such a vibe.
Yeah. Or like, oh, I'm on a cool vibe right now. Yeah. What are some low key?
Low key.
Low key.
Yeah, explaining this to like your grandparents or your parents is like
They might as well have a stroke.
facts.
God forbid. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning to the YAP Podcast. Nell, any final words?
Have a lovely day and
Subscribe to the newsletter.
yeah.
Peace.
Bye.